Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everybody, this is Mr. Nabil Adam from Al-Mubarakiyah Secondary School. Today I'm presenting a recorded lesson for grade 12. This is the last unit, as I told you before. We are going to study unit 6. But this lesson is on workbook, pages 38-39. Please open your workbook on page number 38-39 so that you can answer all the questions after studying this lesson. We are going to study unit 6, lesson 3. The topic of unit 6 is under threat. There are animals and plants which are in danger. They are at risk and in danger. We have to protect them because they are part of our ecosystem. This lesson is about plants. Open your workbook, page number 38-39. Plants defensiveness techniques. This is what we are going to study today. You know that plants are very weak. They are not strong. They are not as strong as the animals. So they have to defend themselves. They have to protect themselves against enemies. Today we are going to study these different techniques. How can plants protect themselves? Look at these pictures and you will get the answer. Look at these plants. Cactus. They have sharp thorns. Nettles. They can sting and they inject painful substances in their enemies' bodies. Nightshade. They have poison. Acacia trees. They have ants. Horse chestnut. They have sticky gum. Venus flytrap. They catch and consume insects. Carnivorous. 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 So any animal that can eat flesh is called carnivorous. Enemy. Carnivorous. An animal that eats flesh. Venus flytrap is a carnivorous plant. So carnivorous is an adjective describing animals or plants that eats meat or flesh. And the opposite is herbivorous. Enemy. thing that harms or weakens something else. Insects are dangerous enemies for plants. He treats me badly as if I were his enemy. Inject. To put liquid into someone's body by using a needle. The doctor injected the medicine into the patient's body. Inject. Sting. The sharp needle-shaped part of an insect's or animal's body. Sting can be a noun or a verb. Bee stings can be dangerous if not treated well. Now, these are the 4 words we studied today. Carnivorous, enemy, inject, sting. Fill in the space with words from the list. You've got four words and 4 sentences, but the 4th sentence is not clear now. Reform, as we know, is the of revolution, is the enemy of revolution. Remove the bee sting with tweezers. Snakes they are fed on small animals and insects. Snakes are carnivorous. Now, answer the following questions. What types of plants are you familiar with? What's your favorite? Daffodils, nightshade, cactuses, lilies, nightshade, Sukia, and nettles. My favorite plant is lily. Why and how do you think some plants can be harmful? Some plants are thorny, poisons, or irritants. They sting their enemies with thorn or inject them with poisonous substances. As you read the article, choose the most suitable title. The title would be How Plants Protect Themselves from Their Enemies. We've got here different names for plants that can defend themselves and protect them from enemies. Cactus, acacia, horse chestnut, nettle, nightshade, Venus flytrap. When you read the article, you will find that there are different techniques they use to defend themselves against enemies. I'll give you 3 or 4 minutes to read the article about plants defensiveness techniques. It may seem very strange, but plants are always in danger from animals which want to feed on them. If this happens, the plant can be damaged or even killed. So, because their roots, trunks, leaves, flowers, fruits, and seeds are under constant attack from mammals, insects, and birds, plants have developed ways of protecting themselves from these enemies. These enemies, what do they refer to? Here are some of the ways plants stop animals from attacking and eating them. The first paragraph is about sharp thorns and stings. Second paragraph, poison. The third, insects. The fourth, sticky gum. And the last one, carnivorous plants. It may seem very strange, but plants are always in danger from animals which want to feed on them. If this happens, the plant can be damaged or even killed. So because their roots, trunks, leaves, flowers, fruits, and seeds are under constant attack from mammals, insects, and birds, plants have developed ways of protecting themselves from these enemies. Here are some of the ways plants stop animals from attacking and eating them. The first technique. Some plants which grow in dry climates, for example, cactuses, store large quantities of water in their stems. To protect themselves, they have sharp thorns. Animals will hurt themselves if they try to get to the water from these plants. Other plants, like stinging nettles, can inject painful or irritating substances into their enemies by means of the sharp hairs on their leaves. The second technique, poison. There are many plants which protect themselves by poisoning their enemies. In some cases, the poison they contain is so powerful that it can kill any living thing which touches or eats them. The poison can be in the leaves, the seeds or berries, and other parts of the plants. The third technique, insects. Some acacia trees in hot African countries are protected by ants, which live permanently on their branches. If an animal starts to eat the tree's leaves, the ants attack it. The fourth technique, sticky gum. Some plants, such as horse chestnut trees, are covered with a sticky substance like wet paint, which can prevent insects from eating them. So the pronoun which refers to. Sometimes this substance is so strong that insects' feet or wings get stuck and they cannot escape. The fifth technique is carnivorous plants. The most incredible plants of all are carnivorous plants like the famous Venus flytrap, which, now complete reading because I cannot see the text. Now match the sentence beginnings 1 to 5 with their correct ending. Complete the sentence by choosing the right answer A, B, C. The two plants which are said to grow in hot, dry climates are cactuses and acacia trees. The phrase "these enemies" in line 4 refers to mammals, insects, and birds. Match the sentence beginnings 1 to 5 with their correct endings A, B, C. A trunk is. What's a trunk? A trunk is the main part of or large stem of a tree. So the main part of a tree is called a trunk, but the main part of a plant is called a stem. A unique characteristic of cactuses is that they store large amounts of water in their stems. The two plants which are said to grow in hot, dry climates are, as we mentioned, cactus and acacia trees. The phrase these enemies refers to mammals and insects, and the word which in paragraph 5 refers to a sticky substance. Now complete the following table with the necessary information from the text on page 38. Here there are different types of plants: cactus, nettle, acacia, horse chestnut, Venus flytrap. How do they protect themselves? Cactus have sharp thorns, and nettle inject painful and irritating substances into the animal's body. Acacia trees have ants. A horse chestnut has a sticky substance. The Venus flytrap consume insects. Which of the picture on page 38 is not mentioned in the text? Do you know anything about it? Here, the right answer, the nightshade plant, is not mentioned in the text, just the picture. Which plant do you think has the best chance of surviving animals' attacks and why? You have to give your own answer. It depends on your answer. How do you think plants can be beneficial to human beings? Plants can be a source of food. We can get medicine from plants. We can get oil or medicine, or what else? We can make some kinds of food from plants. Okay. Now, using your notes in exercise 4, make a summary of the types of plants and the different ways in which they protect themselves. Here is a paragraph that summarizes the article about different techniques plants can use to defend themselves. Plants use different strategies or techniques to defend themselves. The cactus protects itself with sharp thorns. The nettle injects the intruder or the enemy with painful and irritating substances. Unlike other plants, the acacia uses ants to defend itself. The horse chestnut tree covers itself with a sticky substance like a gum. The Venus flytrap catches insects and consumes them. Now, over to you, question number 7. It has been observed that plants promote thinking and creativity. Discuss. How can plants encourage and motivate people to think and be creative? Discuss this question. Plants help us relax and feel refreshed. Many artists inspire their works from nature. They like to sit in the gardens or the parks to write poetry, to write poems, and to write story, or to draw and paint pictures. This is an article about plants. Long time ago, plants were known for their abilities to boost poets' skills to coin unforgettable poems. Plants inspire man to experience a subconscious state which lets the reins for imagination. Herbalists have observed that plants have many abilities to shift and open human consciousness and boost creative thinking. The plants in this category that often first come to mind are the visionary or psychotropic plants and fungi. San Pedro, these are names of plants. Many other plants and herbs have an ability to affect human consciousness. All plants have both spirit and intelligence. Therefore, any plant, even something as ordinary as grass, can affect both our waking and dreaming states. Plants are dream messengers as they bring about messages in and from the dream world. One of the most well-known dreams-inducing plants is mungwort. In general, this plant tends to activate dreaming and stimulate colorful, vibrant, Alice in Wonderland type of dreams. Mugwort is a great plant to help induce dreams for people who normally don't remember their dreams. Plants are able to sense the environment and react with everything in it. With meditation and scientific observation, man could reach marvelous facts and improves his way of thinking. Through observing plants' behavior, a lot of creative ideas were generated. This imitation let man start thinking out of the box. Let's summarize the lesson in this simple question. Plants have developed defensiveness techniques against dangers. Give examples. Here, sharp thorns that sting the enemy, catching and consuming the enemy, stinging needles than inject painful substance, producing a sticky substance. Plants are promoting thinking and creativity discussed, as you mentioned in the paragraph before. What sort of enemies might threaten the existence of plants? Mammals, insects, pesticides, and birds might threaten the existence of plants. The benefits of plants are too many. Mention some. Planting trees is important to the earth and mankind. Give reasons. By protecting rare plants, we are protecting a part of Kuwait itself. Explain. So, what is the importance of plants? Plants provide us with nourishment or food. Plants produce oxygen. Plants enrich the soil. Plants provide us with medicines, oils, perfumes, waxes, fibers, timbers, and fuel. And the Prophet Muhammad. What are the Prophet Muhammad's peace be upon him recommendations concerning plants and cultivation? The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, recommended us to grow plants and trees to receive recompense from Allah. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to complete your workbook. Thank you and goodbye.
carnivorous. An animal that eats flesh. Lions and tigers are carnivorous animals. Enemy. A thing that harms or weakens something else. He treats me badly as if I were his enemy. Inject. To put liquid into someone's body by using a special needle. Hamid is a diabetic and he has to inject himself with insulin every day. Sting. The sharp needle-shaped part of an insect with which it stings. The beekeeper wears special clothes to avoid bee stings.